Early in the morning.
What's going on, the people? Them, it's your boy Cam Topical Juice, and we are back with another episode of Love Island. I'm gonna get straight into this video because I am absolutely tired. I'm so tired. Couldn't sleep till way after 3. Wake up at 7, 8. My eyes are stinging. We're getting straight into this video. There's lots of things to talk about. Like the video for me, please. It makes a massive difference. That only takes 2 seconds. Please press that subscribe button. It's road to 50k. Merchandise in the description. Press the bell. All of that, guys. So anyway. The episode starts with the fallout of yesterday's the other challenge, right? The heart rate challenge. They're all just kind of talking about their thoughts, their feelings. Anton's obviously sad that he didn't raise Georgia's heart rate. Molly and Tom have a little bit of a discussion, and Tom ultimately says, "It's a game, but I am a little bit disappointed that I didn't raise your heartbeat." And that was a bit of a theme throughout the episode with Tom and Molly. They were both, or Tom especially, was disappointed that he didn't raise Molly's heartbeat, which is fine. But who did your heart rate get raised by? Who was it? Oh yeah, Georgia Steele. So Tom, I know you're slower than a sloth that's been dropped on his head, yeah, but I don't think that really makes sense. So I think just accept it. Accept that Callum got his heart raced by Molly and Callum, and you and Georgia just accept it, to be honest, because you ain't really got much of a leg to stand on either. But at the same time, he wants some sort of reassurance, which is kind of fair, but at the same time, it's not really. But I'll be honest, with this heart rate challenge here, I don't buy this game. I think there's so many different factors as to why your heart can be racing in that moment. I just don't think people need to be deep in it so much, but that's me. A lot of people in this game just waffle and cry and moan. Molly then throws shade on Georgia, talking about like, when Georgia apologized to her, basically. When Georgia was like, because I think when Tom got her heart raised, Tom got his heart raised by Georgia, I think she might have said it like, "Oh, you're right." And the thing is, I understand both points of view. Georgia, in the moment, could have easily just been trying to check on her. Be like, you know what, I acknowledge we've had some friction in here. That must not be nice that Tom, the person you're coupled up with, is feeling me. You thought he was feeling you? But I just want to check on you. But at the same time, we know Georgia's history. We know she can be sly. We know she can be shady. We know she can be conniving. Was there any malice? I don't know. Who knows what her intent was behind it. But all I know, yeah, is that Molly is as obsessed with Georgia as Georgia is as obsessed with Molly. They both don't like each other. They're both obsessed with each other, and they're both pathetic, to be honest, when it comes to the dynamic between each other. Just get over it. Molly is obsessed with Georgia, always bringing her up, always this, always that, talking to Tom about Georgia. Now don't get me wrong, Georgia is a snake. And I see some people in comment sections and online trying to now jump to Georgia's defense. Oh, it's not fair that we hold this, this person to that standard. No, Georgia is a clown, and Georgia does deserve the criticism that's leveled to her, 100% of it. However, we do have to be fair and be consistent. Molly is equally as obsessed with Georgia, always bringing her up. It's just annoying, to be honest. Like, Molly, if you've got nothing else to talk about. Sophie's obviously happy that her and Josh raised their heartbeat, and she's talking to Georgia. And I didn't really understand what Sophie's MO was here, but she tried to kind of catch Georgia out and tried to even call her out and say like, so what going for you and Tom then? What's happening there? Like, and because in her mind she sees them having banter and flirting and whatnot. But to be honest, I don't really see that anymore. But again, I'm not in the villa. And you guys remember how important and how powerful the producers are. I haven't really seen Georgia and Tom speak for a while. So in my mind, I'm thinking they just moved on, and because she's obsessed with Toby. She really is, you can see that. I saw that before she told us that she was obsessed. I saw that when she was with Callum. And then Georgia said in the conversation that she stopped talking to Tom for Toby. Now, I didn't watch Love Island games, nor do I know their history. I don't care about their history, but something about that doesn't really line up. Because from what I heard, didn't she meet, or not meet, maybe she met him before, but didn't her and Toby start getting serious from the Love Island games? Either way, that timeline's not really making sense. So don't push this fake narrative, Georgia. Do you know what I'm saying? Stop pushing that fake narrative. And towards the end of the episode as well, Georgia was crying. Oh, we've gone through hell in here. We've gone through. What hell have you gone through that you guys didn't cause yourself? Shut up, man. Honestly, Georgia, don't cry me a river about, we've been through hell in here. We've been through hell in here. Nah, don't give me all that. But anyway, just before bed, Molly and Tom have this weird little discussion, and I don't know, Tom is trying to communicate with Molly, and Molly, I don't know, when she gets in her head and stuff, when she gets in her mind, she just becomes very immature, lacks communication, just laughs, and he's like, well, what are you laughing at? And she's like, nothing. Like a baby, like a child, nothing. All right then, well, it's not nothing because like you're clearly annoyed. If you can't trust me, then what are we doing here? What are we really on? I'm with Tom on that one, to be honest. Like Molly, I don't know how much Molly really likes Tom. I think she's just managing with him for she finds him attractive. They have decent chats, so they're just managing each other, to be honest. can't really see that progressing into something serious on the outside, but what do I know, man? I'm just a man in his 20s. But anyway, the morning comes around, Georgia, basically Anton's a bit moody in it, and Georgia says to him that you're allowed to be moody, I want to support you through it, but you being moody and sad kind of has a knock-on effect on me. And I was thinking that kind of says, that, the way I interpreted that was, yeah, you're allowed to be unhappy, but just so you know, your unhappiness is affecting me. I was thinking, But either way, I don't understand Georgia. Well, I do understand Georgia. She doesn't feel Anton at all. But her logic was, when someone's moody, like Anton was in the morning, her logic is to give them distance and back away and not be affectionate. Now, that sounds like a man. That actually sounds like a man, the way a man moves. And it also sounds like a man, the way a man moves when he doesn't like a girl. So basically what I'm trying to say is, you don't do that to someone that you like. If you genuinely like Anton and you know he's in a bad mood, would you not give more of yourself to him? Would you not cuddle him more? Would you not try and be playful with him? She's talking about how I want to be young, dumb and in love and full of cum and all this, and yeah, we can just be free and hippies and all this stuff and just be, okay, then do that. Set pace. When Anton's feeling low, when he's feeling insecure, cheer him up. Make him a bit of breakfast, give him a big cuddle and jump on him and make him and be goofy around him. That would make him feel better. That would reassure him. But you don't do that. You don't want to do that because you don't like the guy. So she's got no interest in Anton. And yeah, clearly the people in the villa think the same thing as well. But Jess ultimately just says that she needs to keep an eye on Callum because she feels a little bit insecure about her heart being raised by Callum and Callum's being raised by his ex Molly, and vice versa with Molly and Callum. And she just kept going on about it, basically like, is it something I should worry about? Is this, and then yeah, she just kept going on about it. But I mean, it's fair. You're something that you should maybe keep one eye on. I don't know, we'll see. Callum's adamant that there's nothing there. Molly's adamant there's nothing there. I still don't buy it, but we'll see. They're never going to get back together on the show, so they might as well just get back together after the show ends and whatever. But Georgia starts talking about Molly and how she feels targeted by Molly because when she read out the name and then said sorry or said are you alright or whatever, she just jumped at her. Don't deep it. Why are you deeping it, G? Why are you deeping it, G? She's like, alright then, chill. So again, I see both points. Georgia, what was your intent when you said that? I don't know. But Molly, you ain't got to be so snappy. And ultimately, it's because they don't like each other. It's why there's just pasta there between each other. That's just simply what it is. Molly tells Arabella and Georgia that Georgia had to shut it down with Tom. Now, I don't really understand that whole narrative again, like the whole shut it down with Tom. Where's that come from? Are they talking about when they were playing games on the terrace and they had a little chemistry? I don't know. I don't understand what Georgia had to shut down or why Molly's even bringing that up. I don't know. I don't understand it. I think Molly is obsessed with G. It's almost probably like Molly is with Tom just to spite G, almost, even though the reality is G just likes Toby a lot more. So I don't know for these lot, man. I just don't know for these girls. But Sophie and Molly talk about Georgia and Anton. Sophie basically says, how can you really come back from the ick? I understand that. Anton basically deeps that because his love language is acts of service, physical touch, all these things, he's now insecure that Georgia's not really feeling the same because she lacks the affection. But as I said, she doesn't lack affection. She just lacks affection with you, and she doesn't want to be affectionate with you and around you, even when you're feeling low. You have to be, in Georgia's world, you have to be in a great mood and bouncy and this, that, to deserve her affection. Makes absolutely no sense. Georgia even had the cheek to be like, well, I've never really dealt with someone who's so insecure and needs like constant reassurance. And I think that's so interesting, bearing in mind, she's the one who's always needed reassurance in all her relationships. With Josh, she needed reassurance. Why did you leave me, etc., etc. With Casey, needed some sort of closure or reassurance in a way. Do you know what I'm saying? Like she's always done that. So I think that's quite ironic. But it just goes to show when someone who's usually that person now becomes the person that they're not, or like she's now become the man in her own dynamic, she's not used to it, and yeah, she's not really feeling it. Anton and Georgia speak, and he basically just tells her straight that, I feel like over the last few weeks, over the last week I've been deep in a few different things, and I'm starting to overthink certain things, and I'm just more affectionate basically. And yeah, he just tells her what it is. He just basically said, I've got a few more feels. I'm copping a few more feels now. I'm really feeling you. Again, she ain't really feeling the same. Now the game comes around, and this game was long, wasn't it? It was good, but they were really asking a lot of questions. The first question was quite a light-hearted one. Who's the best looking couple? Guys, I knew Tom and Molly were gonna be voted number one. I knew that. But cast your minds back here. Didn't Tom and Sammy win the best looking couple last time? But not only that, didn't Tom also win the most intelligent couple last season, or in his own season, original season? I think people are getting confused. Like, clearly the public, yeah, especially as a lot of it is Fiat 500 and whatnot, they must look at Tom, and because they're so attracted to him, they're so like, he's so endearing to them, they then confuse that with confusion. Sorry, they confuse that with intelligence. The guy is thicker than an Argos catalogue, bro. The guy is thick. Either way, that question, we'll get into that question, but Tom and Molly win best looking couple. Shock. Like, you can see that coming from a mile away. And then Georgia basically mentions Josh in this one. I'm sure Georgia makes a comment about Josh being argumentative or whatever. And then Josh claps back, essentially saying that you bicker lots as well. And then Georgia's like, oh, this isn't the proper argument. It's at the start. It's like the build up of the argument. And then Georgia's like, oh, why are you always trying to shit on my relationship? Like, why are you targeting me? Like, what are you talking about? You literally just brought up, you targeted Josh first. And then, like, I don't know, man, that's what I'm saying. People in this game, they're so insecure, they're so narcissistic, they think everything's about them, they think they can't be targeted, they think they can have an opinion and others can't. Like Arabella loves to make everything about her. So does Georgia. They're just so self-absorbed, it's boring. Either way, Georgia S and Toby win gold, and this is like a running theme here. Now, to be fair, I did think for some of the questions, Toby and Georgia was a cop out from the public. I'm actually surprised that the public voted for them in a few of them, but I'm not surprised the people in the villa voted for them because they've had a rocky time here. But either way, the next one is the most boring couple. Georgia and Anton win that one. I'm not surprised. They are boring. Like, what do? They're just one-sided. They're boring. She thinks she's some Buddhist spiritual person when really she should be filming for Sixth Sense with Bruce Willis because she can see dead people. Apparently, you know, Casey's granddad and that. She talks to dead people. I see dead people. That's her. Yes, the Sixth Sense film was based off of Georgia. Trust me. The next one's the couple staying together to win, right? And people are starting to get a bit chippy now. And Anton all of a sudden starts calling out Josh. So Josh and Sophie are talking about something. And Anton goes, hey, Josh, what did you say? Did you say something about my girl? He says, I'll say it with your chest. I said, what? Josh didn't even say anything. And then Sophie's like, what are you talking about? Yeah, so I thought, Anton, pipe down, mate. Like, remember who you are. Stop it. You know what I'm saying? Stop all that. Because the reality is, Anton, you're softer than baby shit, bro. So just pipe down a little piece. Anton's just getting worked up. He even says, oh, just say it. Just say it. You mean me. You know, you want us to go up there. Just say it. Just say it. It's like, bro, all right, then cool. Go up there, then. Giddy up. Georgia S and Toby win. I thought that was like one of the unfair ones. While everything that's happened between them is their own doing, I don't think they would just stay together to win. I mean, they would, but it's like, who are their options now? They started together, they veered off to other people, and they've come back together. I think that's a natural journey in here. Like, you break up, and when you get back together, I don't think it's for the game. I think it's because there's no one else in there, and you naturally gravitate towards each other. So I thought that was quite unfair, and I'm surprised I'm surprised the public, wherever these votes are, wherever they cast these votes, I'm surprised the public actually voted for them as the biggest, like, yeah, or gameplay or sticking together or whatever it was. So yeah, who's not gonna work on the outside or something like that? They end up, I think they choose Anton and G. I think Anton and Georgia Harrison. I'm not too sure. And then Georgia Harrison again with her one-liners. Oh, if I gotta grab a kilt and move to Scotland, I fucking will. You know, she did that last time with the recoupling. Oh yeah, I fucking fancy him. Yeah, well, you know when she does that, you know when you say something quite boldly, it can come across with a lot more conviction, like it's real. So the first time I kind of gave her some grace. Yeah, good for you. Yeah, stand on business. But this time I know it's just fugazi. You know what I'm saying? I know it's just bollocks. Which couple has the most one-sided relay? Obviously Georgia H and Anton. They just argue about that. Most intelligent couple. And then Sophie goes, well, I don't think it's us. I'm glad, Sophie. I'm glad you don't think it's you, because you're thicker than a fucking snicker, love. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Okay, no, anyway, as a collective, they decide that Anton and G are up there because of G's spirituality. I think that's the side of her that makes her look dumb, to be honest, because I don't know. Not that spirituality's dumb. I believe in all the things she believes in, but the way she says it, it's like, I don't know, I think she's a new plate, you know them ones. But then they decide that Toby and Georgia should go up there. I disagree with that. I literally think they're dumb and dumber, mate. You know what I'm saying? They don't. I mean, Toby ain't that dumb, but I mean, I don't think they strike me as intelligent, shall we say? Arabella pipes up and she says, you know, I've got life experience. You know, I've been around Leonardo DiCaprio, and I've been around A-list celebrities. Don't you know? Don't you know who I am? I'm Arabiaca, and I'm aerobics, and I'm up to Antarctica. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. True says she actually gets voted bronze by the public somehow. Again, let's just cut to the winner. Tom and Molly, number one. For the most intelligent, sawdust Tom. No brain cells. Not even one. And he got voted the most intelligent, and I'm sure he's been voted the most intelligent twice. in his season and this season, which is madness again. And it just goes to show you that most of the people that either watch Love Island or just most of the public in general are dumb. You feel me? If they think Tom is smart, what does that really say about the rest of the public? You get me? But anyway, who's the most likely couple to cheat? And they just don't want to go up there. Toby says he wouldn't cheat, and everyone's saying they're strongly against cheating, and Arabella's saying, oh, listen, I wouldn't cheat, etc, etc. I don't even know I can't even remember who they voted for that one. But again, they're all just piping up. They all just don't want to take it. Now the final one, is who's the most game playing couple. They're all talking about certain things, and they all don't want to go up there. And Josh essentially says, oh, Arabella, it could be you guys because you guys are new, but also it could be you guys, Georgia and Anton. And he calls it out straight up. He says, because every single time someone comes in here, she drops you like a sack of shit, comes back to you, drops you again, comes back to you, and repeat, right? And I rate Josh for telling it how it is. He can be quite brutal sometimes. He can be quite blunt and quite rude and gaslighty. But he is straight up most of the time, and he called her out. Now I don't think Georgia really. I don't think Georgia's actually dropped Anton for other people. I just think she's flat out not interested. She's got the ick. But either way, the sentiment was right. She ain't interested, and any opportunity to go with someone else, she would. So he calls her out, and then Arabella pipes up, saying, actually, excuse me, because if you actually go back at my history, fam, bro, all he said is it could be you because you're new. Stop making it about you. He brought you up in the moment, but the main point, the main dig was to Georgia. He just said you were new, so it could be you guys. But Arabella, boom, but actually, if you look at my history, bro, shut up. Georgia then basically accuses Josh, like, oh yeah, you're meant to be my best mate in here, and you're always just shitting on my relationship. It's not the first time. And she says, oh, I don't reckon we're the only couple that you've been shitting on as well. And Josh basically says, what? Like, who then? Speak up then, pipe up. If you've got some intel, say it then. Bring it to the table. Come forth. No them ones there are, what's that? What do they say at the weddings? Who's got something to say about this newlywed couple? You better speak up your blood clot now, or forever hold your peace. That's literally that's what Josh is saying. Yo, pipe up then. Who's got something to say? Because obviously Anton, what's Anton been saying to you then? Say it with your chest. He even says what Anton says back to him. Say it with your chest, big man. Yeah? Has anyone got something to say? Anyone? No? Man said, that's what I thought then. He said, say nothing. Just dismiss them. Wow. No one wanted no parts of that. They all melted, and he asserted himself. Again, Sophie, them two are actually a good couple because Sophie don't take no shit either, so they ride for each other. They're like, what are you talking about? They'll call out people for calling out their other half. So respect to them. And then Callum tries to bring up a point about Toby and Toby and Georgia, talking about, well, I don't believe this, but the public may think that because you knew each other on the outside, that they could be playing a game, like why are you trying to get with each other on the inside? And while I admire his deductive reasoning skills and his critical thinking in that moment, I don't actually think that's what the public, I don't think that's the reason in it. Well, I don't agree with that in it. I don't agree with that logic, shall we say. I don't agree that that they will just get back together because they knew each other on the outside. I don't know, I think it's familiarity and all these different factors that are the reasons why people are drawn back to each other. But either way, he just raises the point. And Georgia, she's just getting riled up, and Toby's like, well, we've been taking all the shots. Broski, at the end of the day, if you've been taking shots, that's a reflection of your own journey in here. Yeah, so cry me a fucking river, you lot. Because Toby and Georgia, while I agree some of them were unfair, blame the public. I wouldn't have voted for you for some of those. Blame the public. The people inside the villa are well within their rights to call you out because your journey has been piss poor with Georgia. Okay, it's okay now, but at the start it weren't, and in the middle it weren't. They're like, all right, fine, we'll go up there, but look at you lot, you all just cussing us out. We've been receiving all the shots. Yeah, shots fired. It's always the same people. Oh, I'm not gonna go number gold. We're not going to go up number one. Oh, because basically, sorry, I forgot. No one wanted to go up there, so they end up voting. They all end up voting for who they should think goes up there. So they end up voting for Georgia and Toby first. And they're like, cool, we'll go up there, but we ain't going up there first. We ain't going up there. You know what? We're backing ourselves. We stand up strong. We've been going through hell in here. It's not right. Oh my God. Georgia, don't do that. Don't try and victimize yourself here. You are literally Georgia S for a reason. Georgia Snake for a reason. You ain't loyal, you ain't all that, you ain't everything you say you are. So stop, cry me a river, don't do all that. While yes, I agree with you that Molly's obsessed and this and that, and yeah, it's unfair that you probably shouldn't have been voted for some things, but we're not crying a river for you, we're not. And the fact that I knew from the very beginning that you weren't interested in Callum and you always had your heart set on Toby, yeah, you're gonna get less sympathy from me. It means you were playing silly buggers with Callum, and it's not right. But either way, I think they were the biggest game player. I think they were gold in it. Yeah, the couple had the public had actually voted them as number one, and I'm actually glad in that instance, just because even though I don't actually agree with that again, I'm happy they got number one just to prove a point. Oh yeah, we've been getting shots, we're standing our ground, but yeah, the public thinks so. Anyway guys, let me know your thoughts, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you lot at the next video, which should be tonight. Peace.